nonsense, the center, with your host, DC Radical One.
Greetings, Black family, and welcome to On the Wake Up Radio. I am your host, DC Radical One, and you have entered the center. Shout out to my wonderful producer, Cindy Ashby. You can check us out on SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes Podcast, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and iHeartRadio at On the Wake Up Radio. More important than all of that, you can check us out at otwtube.com. That's otwtube.com, which is a Black owned platform. And that will become more important as we get into the discussion. Let me see. Who's in the building first? BB4 Straight Black Pride, the sister Vanessa. BB4 Straight Black Pride, the brother Elijah. Y'all let me know. Y'all hit a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Greetings to Sister Nina, BB4 and Straight Black Pride, the Spirit, Mind, Character, Soul. And a BB4 to the Integrative School Psychologist. I caught a little bit of one of your streams earlier this week. So if y'all would follow the Integrative School Psychologist, she is a professional in the education field, is trying to help our young people jump the hurdles and avoid the obstacles and pitfalls of the educational system. And she helps parents with that. So her channel is her name here. So y'all can check her out, especially those of y'all who are parents. I think it would be beneficial for you. And y'all know me. I don't like very many people. I don't recommend very many people. And I will rescind recommendations as needed. But yeah, the sister, she does good work from what I can see. So I expected to see more people. Hopefully more people will come in. I wish Black Magus was here because he's part of this story. So I was looking, and apparently the last time I live streamed was the end of August, end of Black August. And I had planned to take a couple of days off. Well, not correction, a couple of weeks off, just to deal with some personal issues and rearrange some things and try to just try to set some things in motion that are beneficial for myself. In the midst of that, it's so hilarious. Black Magus, he had sent a donation. So I called him to thank him for the donation. Y'all already know you can donate via Cash App. So run along the bottom here with everything else. And so he's like, yeah, so when you going to come back on? I said, you know what? It's interesting because I'm planning on doing something this week. This was, I guess, maybe 3 weeks ago, something like that. Maybe even less than that. I really can't remember. But at the beginning, maybe it was actually probably was at the beginning of the month because there's some stuff I was trying to do at the beginning of the month. It was a lot of stuff happening all at the same time. It's nothing like having something in your house you can't fix. So you have to call somebody. So then you're on their time and they actually have to show up and know what they're doing and all that stuff. So yeah. So after we had that discussion, it was late. Go to sleep. Wake up the next morning, after I do everything I had to turn the phone on, get all these notifications. I saw a notification from YouTube, but I didn't recognize it. I thought they were just telling me about, somebody else that I follow that put up some content or something. And then later on, I looked at it and what I realized is they had given me a strike. Community strike? Yeah, I guess it was a community strike. So I was like, huh. So when you get a community strike, you can't post for a week. So like literally the day, maybe 2 days before I was gonna come back, they gave me that community strike, so I couldn't post for the week. So that extended my hiatus right after me and Black Magus had that conversation. So I just found that ironic. That's why I wish he was here so he could verify that story. So I decided, I said, all right. And I think right after that, then I think the Israeli war thing jumped off. So I was like, let me see what's up with this. Let me try to figure out what's going on. So tomorrow, we're going to talk about that. We're going to delve into the history of it. And then when I say the history of, like, the history of how Israel came about, and then delve into, what's going on now and what I think could happen. And I don't know if I want that to happen or not, to be honest, because it's one of those things that could get totally out of control. And I'm not sure. I put it like this: I'm sure that the high level hats have run all the scenarios, and they're prepared for the worst, and we're not. So we'll discuss that tomorrow. So we'll be back on tomorrow at same time. And then Thursday, I plan to talk about paternity fraud and how that helps destroy families. So, and then next week, we'll follow the same pattern for at least this week and next week, and maybe a week or two after that. So, of course, y'all already, those of you who have, and everybody here pretty much has followed me for a while, you already know what got took down or what got flagged. They took down the Genie episode. The last interview I did with Brother Genie, they took that down. And here's what was interesting about that. They said, now this, I've never seen, this has not happened to me before. They said, okay, we're taking it down. You have a community strike. I actually haven't even reviewed the community strike yet because I just assume I know why they're against it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, all right, whatever. So they like, you got a community strike. And then they said this part, which is interesting. And I'm going to tell you why. They said, we are taking this down from your channel. We're giving you a community strike. You want to review it, and you can, I forgot what they call it. You can appeal it. Yeah, you can appeal it after you review it. And I was like, whatever, man. I mean, I'm not surprised y'all took it down in all reality. I just thought it would actually take longer for them to get around to it. But I think what's weirdly happening is the number of subscribers we have are going up. Now, the number of listeners and viewers we have is not going up, but the number of subscribers we have is going up. Y'all know my motto, for those who've been here, is get monetized or get deleted trying. So, in the spirit of that, we're 1/3 of the way to being deleted. And we have about 2/3 of what we need as far as subscribers to get monetized. So here's the thing. Because of the community strikes last 90 days, which means I cannot appeal for monetization until next year. But here's the thing. I had no intentions of appealing for monetization until I was at least 3/4 of the way to the threshold for the number of subscribers. Because this is what they recently did. They lowered the threshold for a certain level of monetization, which really, when you really read through it, it benefits them more than it benefits content creators. And then, so I could have actually applied for that monetization already, but I was like, nah, I just wait. So when they took down the Genie video, they also made sure to note, you cannot use this. What they say? You cannot use this towards monetization, or this video can't be monetized, or something like that. And that's the first time I've seen that, because I'm like, I'm not I'm not monetized. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't make any money from YouTube. So I just found that interesting that they would say that. So I'm not sure if that's because I already passed the threshold, even though I haven't applied. But since I got the community strike, I can't apply anyway. So I don't really know why they bothered to say that. I guess they just wanted to reinforce it. Like, don't even think about it. You know what I'm saying? But so that's why my hiatus was extended. So for those of y'all who are here, I assume you are here because you appreciate the content and you miss me a little bit. And you miss this community. Because what I realized, what I have accepted, it's not that I realize it's not, I have accepted. We are building an online community here in this space. And so, because we're building an online community, it's important to be able to maintain it as long as possible in as real a form as possible. And why I say the reason I say as real form as possible because it's obvious as censorship um, tightens, especially in the wake of this whole situation that's going on with Israel now. You best believe you can't have any type of discussion where you openly criticize Israel too much. Although I mean we're gonna skirt that line tomorrow, so it is what it is. I mean we're talking about history, you know, documentation beats conversation. So we're gonna do that tomorrow. Uh, you know, barring some seriously unforeseen type things like bombs going off in DC. You know what I'm saying? But short of that, yeah, we'll be doing that tomorrow. So tonight will be um, a shorter, even though we're almost 20 minutes in and I'm barely getting the intro. Tonight will be a shorter stream because tomorrow will probably be at least 2 hours, considering how much, you know, covering about 100 years of history. So, you know, um, since Funness, I hadn't even thought of that because I'm not even sure how that works as far as the Telegram streams. I could, if I wanted to, I could always do Instagram still, which is that's so hilarious because those of you who follow me on Instagram know I'm on like a rotating 90-day open shadow ban. It's not a shadow ban no more because they announced it to me. So I'm like, it just seems like it's just a rolling 90-day thing. Like even before the 90 days are up, they announced to me that, hey, yeah, you got 90 more days. Don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like coming up for parole, but they send you a letter that say, we just extending you past your parole time. So don't even show up to the parole board. You know what I'm saying? That's how Instagram does my account now. It's kind of hilarious because it just randomly comes up. And I'm just like, yeah, the other 90 days haven't passed. Why y'all sending me this? So, when it comes to this like censorship, I mean, it's just everywhere. What I would do actually for those who haven't seen that Genie interview, and I was working on it earlier, but I had to take care of some things and just completely forgot because the way that OTW Tube is set up, I have to chop it up because I believe it's like exactly 3 hours long. I will chop that up into at least two parts, probably part one and part two, and I'm gonna put that up on my OTW Tube account. And for those who are wondering, it's otwtube.com for those that don't know. And it is DC Radical 1. So all one word, DC Radical 1. Oh, yeah, there it is, running on the bottom now. So probably by Thursday or Friday, I'll have that up on the OTW Tube. So if you haven't seen that or you want to see it again, you can have it there. And what I'll probably end up doing is, because they don't have the capability to stream, if I want to have a discussion with Brother Genie that I think it's worth y'all seeing, I'll just put it up over there and direct you all over there to see it. Even though I know y'all like more of a live format. For something live with him, I don't know. I had to figure out how I'm gonna do that. It may be a Telegram thing, maybe a Twitter thing. I'm having trouble with my Twitter account now. Yeah, I'm unpopular on these platforms, you know. So yeah, I maybe I'll take your advice as far as that with Telegram channels. I investigate that and see how that's done. I think Brother Janie was telling me that I can't remember if it's Rumble or there's some other video platform that also does streaming. They basically just, you know, doing what YouTube used to do, but they're also paying. I don't know how any of that works. So it's conceivable. And he basically what he's telling me that's populated. It's kind of lean. It's leaning more white conservative. So I don't even know how they would, um, how they would take this content. So we'll see with that. Um, Rumble and BitChute. Okay, yeah. So I didn't know which one. I didn't know if they allow live streaming because the thing about the hats now is they'll just buy somebody rather than compete with them. So 1 minute you be able to do something, the next minute thing either don't exist or it's been folded into something else, or it's been silently taken over and you don't even know it. So we'll see. We'll see. Whatever it is, we'll make adjustments as needed, and we'll inform. I inform everybody of what the plans are. But in the meantime, we're here. We're here on YouTube, and we're here thanks to StreamYard. And weirdly enough, StreamYard is sponsoring. They're still a sponsor of this program, despite the controversy. Who knew? So, stream there. If you look in the description for this stream and my last few streams, if you're interested in streaming software, you can check out StreamYard. You'll get a discount, and I'll get a free month. So, if you use my link that's in the description, you benefit both of us. So, just letting you all know. So, that's it. That's my StreamYard commercial. There we go. So I think, like I said, the end of August, at least I thought I said this, said not. The end of August was last time I streamed. Since then, I want to catch y'all up on or remind everybody what's been going on. So, I don't have this up. Hold up. Let me see if I can put this up. Let me see if I can put this up. Hold on. I don't know if this is up. Okay, give me a second. Let's see. So, and y'all let me know if y'all gonna hear me, because sometimes you put up something else and the mic goes out. But one of the things that took place was we had the Protect the First Amendment rally right in front of the ADL headquarters. And for those you all who know, this came out of, and actually, I guess I'm actually working backwards because something else I was supposed to cover before this, but whatever. We're doing this off the cuff. What sparked this, and this has been 2 weeks ago now. And if you want to see, if you follow me on Instagram, you actually, as far as I know, this is still up on my Instagram in the reel section. I filmed it sideways, so turn your phone sideways, and you can enjoy that for the 2 hours. What's going to take place with that? The reason I haven't put the other video footage that I put up on OTW2 is because Jeannie, another brother, filmed it, and they filmed it from a couple of different angles, and he's going to make that into a documentary, and Jeannie's going to have that available once it's produced on his website. So you can check out the raw footage from me, but then Brother Jeannie's going to have something nice and nice and cleaned up, professional and everything, available for you all to purchase. Because it's a historical moment, to be honest. Like, we don't really think about these things being historical moments, but just be completely honest. No one, no one, no one opposes the ADL. We believe so, Sister Vanessa. Yeah, he gave us the universal hat greetings. He didn't say nothing. He just walked by and did it, so we just assumed so. Yeah, he didn't want no smoke. I'll just put it like that. Just keep on moving. So here's the thing. So when I got out there, Jenny was already out there. He was playing Steve Coakley. Old Steve Coakley audio talking about the hats. Sante 1000 said like a cow. Oh man, I just put it like this. Y'all couldn't see, but y'all just saw Jenny, but we had brothers on the other side. So, and then here's the thing. That people didn't understand. Jenny went through the proper protocols and got a permit. So we didn't necessarily need a permit because we were on a public sidewalk. But the thing about DC that a lot of people don't know is you have to pay attention to the architecture and even like the design of like the sidewalk and the different stones and things like that, because that'll let you know what's the public sidewalk and what's private property. So there are some buildings in DC, and the way these office buildings are, some of these foundations or whatever, and some of these NGOs and things like that, they have their own building. So like the Heritage Foundation, and I'm trying to think, it's another one downtown, but they have their own building. Some of these other ones, like the ADL, they just in a building. Some of the like the more controversial ones, because people will come all the way to DC to try to find, certain people or certain organizations to try to do something. So the more controversial ones, they will just be in a random building, and you'll walk past these buildings, you'll never know what's in them, right? You have, like I said, different NGOs and different foundations and different, oh man, what's the word? What's the people that buy the politicians, but it's legal? It's like legal bribery, but it's a profession. I can't, man. I'm drawing a blank. Y'all help me out. But those people, the lobbyists. Like you have different lobbyist firms, and they used to all be in the K Street area, but since the thank you, Sis Finance, since the pandemic, everybody is not in the city like they used to be. But some of those firms and stuff are still there. So you won't know if you're like a tourist and you're just walking around DC, you won't know what you're walking past. So, but of course, everybody, well, not everybody, now that I think about it, not that, about to tell a lie, but a lot of people, they tell you where they at on the internet. So you can't, depending on how the building is set up, you can't stand directly in front of the building, or you can't stand directly in front of the sidewalk in front of the building. Depending on how it's set up. So, we talked about that. And then so Jenny was like, well, yeah, I'm good because I went and got the permit, even though they told me that I ain't need it. I said, okay, you got the permit, that's good. So what ended up happening is the reason the permit came in handy is because once he got the permit, right, and he was able to set up and he was able to use his sound, electronic sound, which I was kind of surprised because I know they let you use bullhorn and stuff, but you never know. but the police were in the area. Now, let's be honest. As a black man, normally when you say the police are in the area, then I don't want to be in the area. You understand what I'm saying? Like if the police are there, I don't want to be there. That's just generally how it goes. It's how it's been since I was a teenager. I have people in my family in law enforcement, right? Actually, multiple people. Nonetheless, you see the police, you don't really want to be there. It's just how it is as a black man. Before they straight black pride, brother Kevin. But in this case, and this is how surreal everything is, man. I like everything is just so surreal to me and crazy and backwards. In this case, it was to our benefit to have the permit because then the police were then obligated to defend our First Amendment rights. You see what I'm saying? So y'all saw the one guy walk by and give, the small hat salute. Like, yeah, greetings to you too, hat. But then a hat who said he wasn't a hat rolled by. Now, what the sister told me, because I was facing the other way, she said he had rolled by on his bike. And then he rides back and he said something to Jeannie. And so then him and Jeannie, they go at it a little bit. And then he says that he's not a hat. But here's the thing, right? Let's just be honest. If you're not a hat and you ride by, why are you riding back by to express your opinion? You just go about your day. You be like, ah, oh, look at those ends. And they would keep on going, right? Because it was a lot of people, and like if you look at my footage, you can see them walking past. It was a lot of people. There's a lot of Europeans that were looking like, oh, they doing something. There's some black people out there, and they were just walking past the camera real quick. Like, I don't want to be on the camera, or they walked behind us. Some people turned around. One dude was with his he was walking his dog. If y'all know what I mean, it's two-legged dog. He was walking his dog, and I think she crossed the street. If I remember correctly. I wish it's a sister in here. I don't see her in the chat. She might not be on. But yeah, if I remember correctly, she crossed the street and he just walked past. So be interested to see how long that relationship lasts. You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing. More and more times, more and more people gonna have to, make choices. And you think that person will love you, act black and see how long that lasts. That's all I'm gonna say. For y'all divestors out there, you have to sacrifice your dignity, your self-respect, your black manhood, black womanhood, because if you attempt to be yourself, that European's gonna remind you who you not. You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't seen no. If somebody seen this somewhere, I haven't seen no. Okay, hold up. Well, no, I haven't seen it because I was about to say something, but I actually haven't seen that person. I only read some stuff they had, but I really haven't seen any European male or female stick with any black person who wanted to be black. I haven't seen it. Now I have seen a European female at one time that years ago got with somebody that was in the nation, and she bear witness that Urugu was the devil. Even though she's European, she's Urugu. You know what I'm saying? She a daughter of Yakub according to their ideology, and bear witness that they're the devil. So that's one out of what 100 million. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, and I never see that brother, so I don't know. I don't know that story, but I've seen that person, some of their literature and stuff. It was the weirdest thing, and that was years ago. So anyway, back to where we were. So yeah, Mr. I'm not a hat came back on a bike, you know what I'm saying, and wanted to he wanted to get up in Jeannie's face. So anybody that know Jeannie know he's not that he's really just not one for foolishness, you know. So I was looking, I was like, all right, let me gauge his temperature and see. Because he has certain facial tics and body twitches that let me know how close he is. You know what I'm saying? To losing it. So before that happened, the and I believe he's a sergeant, police sergeant, came in, stepped in, and told the gentleman that he was blocking the sidewalk, which was real slick because he couldn't tell him he couldn't be there because it's public sidewalk. But he told him he couldn't block the sidewalk. He did it, and it was deep how he did it because he didn't even say, "Hey, you stopping this person's First Amendment right," because they were engaging and they were interacting. So he told him he told him he couldn't block the sidewalk, and then he told him, and this was slick too. What you can do, you can take your bike and put it over there, and then you can come back and have this discussion with this gentleman. And this is what happened, right? The dude stopped, he thought about it, and then he rolled out. And the reason why is if he puts his bike over there, the police are at least like 50 feet away. There's about half a dozen brothers that would be 10 feet away. And Jeannie was next in front of him. The chances of him escaping from us if something pops off. You know what I'm saying? So he like, what? No bike? Nah, I'm out. You know, so he went on about his way. But it was just interesting because he claimed not to be a hat, but he came with that hat talk. So yeah, that was interesting. And it was fun and funny at the same time. Brother Gene did his skit as Mr. Hat, his Mr. Hat skit. If you haven't seen that, be sure to check that out. And like I said, that'll be available. He'll email it out when it's available. I don't actually have a time frame because I believe the brother is doing the filming, is doing the production. So that took place. And the reason that took place is because, as we see Dr. Cynthia McKinney in the picture with Brother Jeannie, Dr. Cynthia McKinney sent out a on Twitter. She just sent out a tweet saying that she'll be she knows she'll be on that. I think that was a Monday as well. Yeah, that was a Monday. On Monday, and I don't know the date. What was that? What was the date on that? But you know, the David Duke event. So I didn't even get a chance to log into the David Duke event because we were trying to figure out, did they have too many people and the servers were down, or was it a DDoS attack or DNS attack? Not sure. September 11th. Thank you, sister. How can I forget that? And it's funny too, because allow me to sidebar real quick. What I was going to do, this is before this war started. I was trying to debate whether I was going to do a lecture or I was going to do it for free here on YouTube. What happened was September 11th happened. And leading up to that, they start showing the footage. And I saw the footage again, the towers and the people jumping out, and they were interviewing the New York fire department people. And it dawned on me in that moment. I said, this was the ritual. This was symbolic. The taking down of the towers was symbolic of the collapsing of America. But just like the collapsing of America, you think it's an outside person that's going to collapse America, but really it's somebody that has infiltrated and done it from the inside. So when I saw that, I was going to do either a series of show or a lecture on the collapsing of America, um, starting from 1999 forward, or either that. Yeah, I was gonna start. Well, that would have been 2000, starting with the 2000 election forward, because it's the possibility that if you didn't have the 2000 election, then you wouldn't have had the whole 9/11 thing and so forth, so on. So I was gonna do that because I saw that, and then the sister was like, well, how you gonna do it? Because would anybody pay for that? And I said, that's a good question. I don't know. I said, because I told her, it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to take me a lot of time to get all the information I need and to put it up. And because of what it's dealing with the hats and everything, I could do it from YouTube, but it'd be better for me to do it from StreamYard and monetize it myself. But then this war happened. It got to suck all the air out the room. So I don't know. It depends. If I don't know. I know I said I don't know twice, but it's because I don't know. If enough people show their interest in that, I would do it. If not, I will table it. But it's an idea that I had, and it was inspired by 9/11. I don't even know when I would do it, because of course now we're coming up to that time where I normally do the annual Dr. Khalid Muhammad event. It's not as far away as it seems. The Dr. Francis Chris Wilson event is March. Dr. Collins in January. Dr. Chancellor Williams Day is in December. We're in the middle of October, so it would take me at least a month to do that. So that would have to be something in November. So it was an idea, and at some point when more people show up for a show, I'll have y'all vote and y'all let me know if that's something y'all be interested in or not. I don't think anyone has documented it. And to be honest, it was almost, and I've never thought this way before, ever. It would almost be something that would be more beneficial, or would be as beneficial to see to non-Black people as Black people. Because here's the problem. I look at America like a ship that's sinking. And even though we would like to escape the ship, if you're on the bottom of the ship and the ship starts sinking, you're the first one to die. And that's kind of our situation in America. It's like anything bad happens, we suffer the most. And it's like the slave ships. You're chained you want to get off the ship. You want to take over the ship and redirect the ship back home. But if you're at the bottom of the ship and the ship it caught in a storm or hit some debris in a hole in the bottom of the ship, people at the bottom of the ship first ones to go. So that's an idea. It's been tabled for the moment. Let's put it like that. But that was to protect the First Amendment rally. We rallied in front of the ADL building, and it was only a couple of people that looked out. Excuse me, you could see them looking down and trying to see what's going on, and they look like some regular Yoruba, but you never know. And then see anybody from actually, I didn't notice anyone from the Florida ADLs on. But that don't mean that they, that doesn't mean that they uh didn't notice. It may have been one of those things. There may have been like some other events that we just talked about, where they told people don't come to work. Like, you know what I'm saying? They just don't come to work. So, but before that, of course, what sparked this was the old David Duke event, like I was saying. And I got in late, and as I guess everybody knows, Mr. Duke didn't show. Don't really know the reasons. So Brother Genie did. He spoke, and the guy Dave Gahari hosted it, and it basically just became Genie speaking for the most part. For those who are unfamiliar with Dave Gahari is the he's the guy, he's a European that Genie did the In Black and White series with, where they talking about our mutual problem. If you haven't seen that, you can check that out on inblackandwhite.net, and I believe In Black and White on Rumble. Sister Farnessa, help me out, make sure I'm correct with that. That's on Rumble. And I believe that's being edited into one thing and being made available for purchase at warnerhorizon.com. So you can check that out. So yeah, I had checked it out, a little bit of it. I saw that Duke didn't show up, and Sister verified that that's from. All right, thank you, Sister. So yeah, he didn't show up. I'm not sure why. He gave some excuse. It's not worth repeating, in all honesty. And that was that, And so that event took place. So those two events took place. Also, and I don't think I have that picture, so I can't put that up. We had a Chop It Up session in Baltimore. Now, I hadn't gone to the Chop It Up session in Baltimore because my schedule hadn't allowed it. Just like, a lot of other stuff. But we had the Chop It Up session in Baltimore. Say Odyssey has it also. Okay, thank you, brother. Sister Farnessa says, you find it interesting Dave didn't show up due to alleged technical difficulties, but was in the live stream. Hey, I have nothing to say because I don't know, It is what it is. Where was I? I lost my train of thought that quick. Oh yeah, no. We had the Chop It Up in Baltimore. And that was dealing with the One Africa project. And that was so I did go to that. And it was just really a nice event, man. Just beautiful facility. Terra Cafe, man, it's a really nice spot. I really, man, it's they got some good food. It's a nice restaurant, Black owned. They have a back outdoor eating spot like behind it. And I was really, I've been there before, but it's been a while. I don't really remember that back session, that back area, excuse me. I don't remember seeing that before, but all I was thinking is, man, this would have been nice to have an event in the summertime. So, hopefully, these fools don't end the world. We can do something out there next year once it warms up. I guess we got 6 months before that happens now. So yeah, we worked on a One Africa project and did some what's the word I'm looking for? uh, where you get a bunch of people together and you try to come up with ideas and things like that. Y'all help me out. I'm struggling right now with my vocabulary, but we did that, and a couple, actually, an elder came out I hadn't seen in a long time that lives up there in Baltimore. He came out. That Baba been doing work for a long time, and man, I just found it just very enjoyable, very edifying, and brainstorming. Thank you, sister. Appreciate you. Yes, that's what the word I was looking for. Brainstorming. Um, I assume everybody's familiar with the One Africa project that Brother Genie's putting together. He's trying to, well, no, he's not trying. He's putting together a team to go to Africa, to various countries, to work on unifying Africa, and which is more important now than it was in the wake of the world events, because everybody's pretty much lining up to take sides. Yes, brother. Yeah, yeah. Is a impromptu think tank. We have an actual think tank that we don't discuss very often, but there's more than an impromptu think tank. So yeah. So, and he's raising money for that. I think he's put that out. I think he's put that out, but I think he's put the email out, but I'm not sure exactly which of his cash apps those donations will go to. So I'll get that. I'll get that information, and I'll make that known where you can donate for that project. He's raising funds for that to bring some qualified, intelligent Black people who are race first to the continent for a series of conferences. So that is an ongoing project. So those were the three. Yeah, those were the three things that have taken place since the last time that I live streamed. I'm trying to think what else has taken place. Oh I missed it. Yeah, I missed Polite. His case was adjudicated and he was sentenced. And he's currently incarcerated, from my understanding. He was trying to say that he hadn't pled. I think technically at the time he hadn't. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's one of those technicalities. Now you haven't played yet because your case hasn't come up yet, but he's pled now, and he was taken away. For those who are unfamiliar with that, I guess a year ago now, there were allegations of him and some inappropriate activities with a young sister, a daughter of one of his girlfriends. I'm using that term loosely because I don't know if this is one of his 4 alleged wives or there's some other adjacent woman to him. I never really got the clarity on that. A lot of people covered that when it happened. I was going to cover it, then I was just like, man, everybody's covered this thing. So that took place. Y'all know how I feel about pedos. I said it. I'm pretty sure I said it when everything took place. There was no reason to even be in that situation for any accusations to occur because there was no reason for you, a man with 4 wives, allegedly, to handle any situation where a young lady and her mother are having a problem. By the appropriate action is to take that child to one of your other wives' houses for them to deal with that, or to have one of those or those women come over. Because, and again, I'm making an assumption that this was one of those people. Now, if this was an adjacent woman, and hey, whatever, but still, nonetheless, You're a man who has access to minimum 3 other women who you can bring in to help handle this situation between a mother and a daughter. There's no reason for you to be taking I believe 14-year-old, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, to an after party nor a hotel room. There's no justifiable reason for there to be any alcohol ingested by a minor in your presence with your knowledge. And there's certainly no reason for any of the other allegations that took place after that. So, with that, I just say good riddance to bad rubbish. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny. Somebody showed me an old video. It may have been Sister Fonessa. I can't, but somebody showed me an old video of him basically justifying Dwight York and his the allegations against him. And KW Don says Pedal Light is just following in the footsteps of his ideological father, Dwight York, made a share sale. Yeah, no question. When all is said and done, that was the final outcome of that. So that was that. It's just wild because he kept trying to flam and scam people and say he wasn't going to jail and all that up to the end. And apparently there were some people believing it. Man, listen. Oh man, I don't understand why people are confused about and I was gonna like play the audio of the sister, the little sister, mother. But man, it was so much anguish and it was so heartbreaking. I was like, I don't want to play this, man. This dude going to jail. I don't want to play this. Yeah. Since finance is probably not doing well, if the COs are told what he's in there for. Yeah, somebody's probably seen the COs and gave up his paperwork and spread the word. Somebody didn't check out his paperwork and spread the word. So yeah, whatever happens is what you earned on that one. You know what I'm saying? Whatever happens is what you earned. And KW Don said there was DNA evidence. Right. There was DNA evidence. So I do. He can talk to us. You try to flam us. You can't flam me because first of all, I'm just too old. I know a slick talking New York dude when I see him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just know, put my hands in my pockets and make sure everything is still attached while they're talking. So you can't flim me from DC. You know what I'm saying? You can flim somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can flim somebody from, somewhere else. Sister Finance said the little sister never be seen. Right. And see, that's the thing. And that's why really the penalties are not equal to the crime. Because the crime is life altering. It's almost like you paralyze somebody, but you paralyze them spiritually and psychologically. So you damage them for life. So for you to serve anything less than life or to be physically damaged in that same manner is not really justice, in my humble opinion. Now, some people would like to take it further than that. And I have no opposition to that sentiment. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way I can put it here without being completely candid. But y'all understand what I'm saying. Y'all understand exactly what I'm saying. Sister Nina said good riddance to bad rubs. Right. So, I mean, the thing about it is, the movement struggling enough, and it's really why Brother JD years ago, before any of this, carved out a niche of straight black pride and set forth the parameters and things like that. Because he kind of saw what it was and who was involved, and he had a good gauge of the type of people that was coming into the movement, the type of spirit that was coming into the movement years ago. And it's played out. Various people just going through various things and whatnot. It's just wild because most of these people had like huge followings and got a lot of money and things like that. But I knew Poe like when it's wild to me that people still follow him because he was running around openly cavorting with European females, and he's flashing all this money in all these places with with this expensive European clothes and cars and all this stuff. And I mean, people still believing in it. I'm like, so y'all, I'm like, oh, so he's just a celebrity to y'all. He was never, I don't even know what he purported himself to be, because I just never, I never vibed with him like that. I never took him seriously. So I don't actually know what the appeal was. To be honest, I ain't followed his career enough. Only things I heard from people up in New York, heard about him scamming people. Scamming some people that was had to get the elders to give people money back, and scamming some people that was I believe mentally challenged or whatever, but they had coming to some money and things like that, and he was scamming them. So that I had, that's the type of stuff I was hearing from people who I can consider credible sources. You know what I'm saying? So that was, whatever. That's that. Y'all let me know what else has happened in the last month. Besides, if I hear one more thing about Jada Pinkett. It's crazy. Tupac's person connected with Tupac's murder. Look like he is going to see his day in court. Which, that's going to be interesting. Because I believe there's more to that than it seems. Than a simple gang murder. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. KVD stories always seem to leave out important details. Seems like he probably left out just enough details to think he wasn't going to get arrested and end up getting arrested anyway. And it'd be interesting to see how he rolls over on good old Puffy there. More good riddance of bad rubbish, however that turns out. But what else? I got 26 more minutes. Y'all let me know what else is going on in the black world. It's just fun. I say wouldn't be surprised if Diddy about to get his just due. I mean, he has messed over so many people. It's crazy. It's just one of those things that when people think you about to go down, that's when everybody start talking. So it may be happening. Like everybody might already be talking, and I'm just not paying attention. But I wouldn't be surprised if all people start popping up out of the people that's still alive, because there are a lot of people not even alive. Now that I think about it. Shine is alive, but he back home in another country. Mace is still around. He doing a show with Cameron. Somebody told me about that. How many? Ain't that many other bad boy artists still around? So, people was leaving and changing their religion and all types of stuff. Who knows what those people saw? So, we shall see on that. Y'all know I normally don't cover celebrity stuff, but it's one of those things everybody was talking about. Um, I posted, and I think I gotta do it. I think I'm gonna do a radical report on this. Nobody was talking about this. Where let me make sure I get the right country because I'm about to name a country. I don't want to name a country and be telling lies. Which one of these countries is it? Let's see. Tunisia. Tunisia has been dropping black people off as people try to cross over their country and get into Europe. They've been pushing black people back and pushing them in the desert. Now, y'all been following me for a long time. I talked about some of how the Arabs treat black people. I talked about the ongoing Arab slave trade. If you see my Africa versus Everybody lectures, said probably saw that 4 or 5 years ago. One of those, but apparently this one didn't get filmed. I talked about the sex trafficking of the sisters in Dubai and things like that. So yeah, those types of things are still going on. And now Tunisia has joined, of course, Libya. They started doing the enslavement. I think soon they rolled over to make sure Gaddafi was dead. They started enslaving black people. Hell, they might have did it before he was actually dead. And Sister Vanessa says, I find it ironic that a week or two prior to keeping these arrests, Diddy gave back the masters. Yeah, I mean, how many? Who that's alive? Whose stuff is worth anything? You know what I'm saying? Like he squeezed all the juice out of it and then gave it back to him. So, yeah, but that is interesting. That story will, depending on how that goes, and that story may take up the whole winter, depending on how it goes. It's good. And you really think about it, it's sad because it's such a waste. And I wonder if we even, because I don't even, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, Tupac's first shooting, was that ever solved? The one in Quad Studio. Because that's what made everything pop off. That's what made him, Tupac, question, that made him turn against Big because he thought that he knew something. And so that started the whole feud. And what's his name, Suge, came and bailed him out. I saw an interview or a clip with Warren G. Y'all remember Warren G, Dre's Dre's stepbrother, I think. Did Regulators. That was a song. That was a hot song back in the day. He said that I forgot, he was hanging out with one of Tupac's boys back in the day. And he said he was trying to get the money. He was going to bail Pac out just to bail him out because he was cool with his homeboy. And he said by the time he got the money together, before you got ripped off. Yeah, I sent you. I thought I included you in the Instagram post, brother. If I didn't, my apologies. Well, yeah, but Warren G was saying that he was going to bail out Tupac by the time he got the money together. Suge had beat him to the punch. It's just interesting. The interesting thing, man, about the Tupac thing is what he could have became. He had that Panther lineage. His father was a Panther, although Afeni kept trying to make his father claim that the gangster was his father when the Panther was his father. That whole Afeni thing. Actually, you know what? I'll probably talk about that Thursday when I talk about fraternity fraud, because God, man, between Afeni and Kurt Franklin's mother, bro. Oh, man, just the lies, man. The lies. The lies really, really can really hurt sons. You know, because I never knew what was up with Kurt Franklin. It was like something wrong with that dude. I don't, and I don't even actually. I don't even know if I can use some of this stuff because he had a documentary talking about, trying to find his father and stuff. But anyway, I figure out what I'm gonna do. But we're gonna talk about that Thursday. We're gonna talk about paternity fraud Thursday. But yeah, I just thinking about it, just like, oh man. So yeah, but I saw an interview with Pac and he's talking about, he would have been different if he had he known his father. And his whole life might have been different. Well, no, his whole life would have been different. Like, men don't talk about the pain of being like, I don't know what it's like to like never know your father. Like, that must really be wild. And what's wild is you see some of these stories with men that don't know their father, and their father be like around the corner, across the street. Like, these stories be crazy. Like, I think T.O. thinking like his father was like across the street or something, but he never knew his father. I don't know if his father knew him. Like, these stories be crazy, man. And you see these dudes, these famous dudes, and you can tell they broken, but you don't know what's going on. And a lot of times, man, it's be the lies of their mother. Just, lying about who the father is. Like, Afeni was just lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to knock her because she's not here to defend herself. But Pac not here to defend himself. But I mean, hell, he's a serious case study in fatherlessness. Because he talked about, man, I wouldn't be as out of control, wouldn't be this and this and that. And then that whole, he may have, because we forget he's 25. And I can't lie, when I was 25, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't making all the wise decisions all the time at that age myself. I just happened to, since I already came in that knowledge and I had some older brothers around me, man, I've had some brothers talk me down out some situations that I ain't gonna talk about, but I couldn't, I could not be here talking to you, or could be here talking to you after being out of society for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers had just really just stopped me and like, yeah, this ain't it, bro. Sis Farnessa says, let me see. Let me put this up. Sis Farnessa says, sad but true. Why not tell your child who their father is, even if they don't want to be in the child's life? I don't get it. I don't get it either. So I was fortunate I never had that problem. I was fortunate. Parents got married. I was fortunate to kind of look so much like my father that even if he wanted to, he can tell that lie. And he didn't try to. He carted me around proudly, you know what I'm saying, for a number of years. So, but that, if there's any point in your life as a man that bond with your father is broken, whether it's you never know him, you know him for a little while, your parents get divorced, and y'all not in the same house, or you lose them due to illness or whatever, man, that's one of those. Man, that's one of those things, man, that it's life altering in a bad way. It's It's a wound that doesn't really heal. And so it's much worse, I would think, if you realize that your mother's the reason why. And and like the Kurt Franklin thing, just crazy all the way around because he thought it was some other man. I think his mother told him it was some other man, and that man ended up dying, and he had reconciled with the man like right before he died, and that man died thinking that Kurt Franklin was his son. Man, it was a mess. I don't know if y'all seen it. I don't know what it's called. Because if I knew what it's called, I would recommend it. If I knew what it's called, I'd actually take some of it, put it up for the discussion on Thursday. But I don't even know what it's called, man. But it's crazy. Brother, you got Berthold says we don't talk about the splinters we get. Black men have been programmed to keep everything inside, while black women have been programmed to overexpress themselves and ignore us. Yeah. And it's gonna sound crazy. As men, we have been conditioned to believe, and it is expressed in certain ways, that no one cares about the black man's pain because no one believes that the black man has emotions other than maybe anger and wanting to get it on. Like, I don't know what that emotion is, but y'all know what I'm saying. So we're not looked at as full and complete human beings, whether in the sense of our capacity to have emotion or our capacity to feel emotion. So whether we're seen as less than quote unquote human naturally, or as as we develop that way, well, it's false. But it's just nobody other than other brothers who, what I'm saying, if you part of a brotherhood or you have some brothers that's down, nobody cares. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I hate to put it that way. Nobody cares about the black man. You just be honest. If we keeping it frank, no one cares about the black man in general. If you have a village that you're a part of as a black man and you have loving people around you, you are, I hate to use the word blessed, you are fortunate. If you've built that for yourself, you are wise. You see what I'm saying? And it was deep is the older you get, the harder it is to maintain that because you just lose people because of age and transitions in life. And then the younger people that you help bring up, they get older. Your children, they get older. If you've been a jegna to some people, they get older. You know what I'm saying? You can raise up somebody from a teenager or a college or something, and you see them develop and you help them, you give them advice and you see them, taking the steps forward in life, and they have their own families and stuff like that, and you're proud of them. You're like, yeah, he's doing it. But then what I'm saying, but then you don't have that bond as much with them because they got to live their life. So even that's like your child moving out type of thing. So yeah, it's just one of those things. And well, you got also that's why the Barudis do quarterly men and women healing circles, right? Because we all, men and women, we all get damaged because we're in an unnatural environment. In reality, the world is an unnatural environment because the unnatural is ruling the world. I'm going to say that again. The world is an unnatural environment because the unnatural is ruling the world. And because they put their imprint, their psychology, their cultural asili above everyone else's, and are trying to implant it in the minds of everyone, and even implant it within the culture of everyone. Everyone thus is damaged by that, including them. Because the Europeans at the top now, the psycho hats, are the worst of the worst. That they're the highest form and the worst form of Eurodemon. And they're the ones ruling the planet. So it's so bad that it benefits regular Euros to resist the evil. That's how evil the evil is. Satan is so out of control, the devil's like, hey, this is out of hand. You see what I'm saying? That's why you see Europeans in these schools like, hey, man, these books, do y'all know these books are in here that children are reading? And the people are like, what? Yeah, we know. And then when the people read the book, then they want them to shut up. We're like, what you want them to shut up for? He reading the book. The book is in the school. But when I come and read it at the school board, then everybody want everybody to shut up, but I'm reading the book. You see what I'm saying? And Europeans are fighting against this in some areas. That's how evil the evil is. The evil is so out of control that the evil wants to fight against the evil. That's how bad it is. That's how sick it is. That's how demented it is. I saw a post today. It was crazy. It said, it was a European transformer talking about Israel provides the drugs that they need to stay transformed, but they're opposing Israel anyway because of what's happening in Gaza. Y'all take all the time you need to process that, because I needed a lot of time to process that. But actually I didn't. It was just crazy. It's just like, this is insanity, man. Sister Nina says it's not easy for a single woman to help a young man develop to a grown man. No, it is not. It's not, because it's unnatural. Like, we don't want to say these things that are obvious. It's unnatural. It's unnatural. The natural order is for two people to produce one person, and for those two people to steward that one person through the stages of growth and development until that one person is able to survive on their own within the society. That's the natural way. And yet we choose to do the unnatural because we live amongst the unnatural. And we'll even argue and get mad with people who say, hey, man, what you're doing ain't natural. That's why it's so hard. That's why it doesn't work. That's why you're struggling so bad. Because it's unnatural. And people get offended when you say that. Just like two men moinking each other, it's unnatural. That's why you get all types of medical conditions. Again, like I said, I used to work in a hospital. I talk to nurses. They talk about this stuff. They talk about some of the medical conditions that can develop from some of these things. Just based upon these death styles, if you will. It's unnatural. And the thing about it is, generally speaking, for the most part, the natural will win out. The natural order will return one way or the other. If everybody goes, you go against it natural enough, you just you tend to cease to exist. So your son had uncles and both his grandfathers. Well, that's good. That's good because I mean that's needed even when the father's there. To be honest, because as a man, you learn from, and it depends on how you are. I learned from observing. I was always when I was a child, I was observant. I'm still. It's part of my personality. I was always observant of people, and I just took what I thought was beneficial and left the rest. Ate the meat, and left the bones, so to speak. So yeah, I just wanted to come back on, man, and just get, as I said, back in the saddle again. Um, you know, we will I'm gonna keep doing this, we're gonna build this thing up. We got no homo. Yeah. Pause. I forgot. Yeah. Can't even say back in the saddle again nowadays. Everything. Everything has some type of illicit connotation in today's language. But yeah, we're gonna be back tomorrow at 8, and we'll get into this war. Because I haven't even seen the latest. Latest thing I saw, well, actually I have seen the latest. Latest thing I saw, Israel blew up a hotel. Now they're trying to say they ain't blew up the hotel. I mean, not the hotel, hospital, excuse me. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. See, you wasn't in here. You missed the story. Yeah. That I ain't say you jinxed it. I said we had a conversation, and then next thing I know, I got a strike. That's all. That's what happened. I just stated the facts. I didn't make any other suppositions beyond that. That's what took place. Um, you got ripped off in here, copping a plea. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, nah. Hey, maybe the phone recorded it, and they like, oh, okay, he coming back tomorrow. That's what he think. You know what I'm saying? The phone recorded it, sent it straight to Google. Like, yeah, you think you live streaming tomorrow? Little do you know. You know what I'm saying? That's probably what took place for real. But yeah, this was fun for the first time. I'm glad to see you all. Glad to interact with everybody. And tomorrow at 8, we'll be back, and we will get into this war. And the last part of it, the most important part of it, is how out of control can this thing get? Because that's really what I'm thinking about. And let me say this now. I was going to say this, and then the FBI said it. So and I'm probably more in danger of it than any of y'all, because I'm in DC. Don't be surprised if we have a false flag that is labeled as an Islamic terrorist attack on the United States of America. Just don't be surprised. The FBI has put out I don't think I got that listed here. The FBI has put out a warning about possible terrorist threat in connection with the current situation in Israel. So I'm just letting y'all know. Or you got Virgo said, that's why I refuse to start a YouTube channel. Everything I will do on the Wake Up Radio. Hope everyone enjoyed episode 1. Uploading episode 2. Okay, cool. So yeah, just be on the lookout for that. Like, I thought I was gonna put it out, and then I saw the FBI director said it, And I was like, okay, so anything that happens, they can say they're warning people, but they're already blaming it on the Islamic terrorists, even though the attack has not happened yet. I'm telling you that is not an Islamic terrorist. That's a false flag made to lure the U.S. further into this conflict. And KW Don said Israel blaming the jihadists for bombing the hospital. Well, see, there it is. That doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. So we'll get into all that tomorrow because we'll get into it tomorrow. So I appreciate you all coming through. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at dc.radical1. Right now, you can't follow me on Twitter because I can't get my Twitter account, so whatever. You follow me on OTW2 at dcradical1. If you want to donate via Cash App, $ dcradical1. This, of course, is the YouTube, and you can email me at dc.radical_1 at protonmail.com. With that, I say a BB for Hodie and straight black pride.